Monk Yunro here. Welcome to the Forbidden Rice podcast. Today I want to talk to you about weapons. In particular, I want to talk to you about the Tai Chi straight sword. Here it is. Let's see if I can show you the length and beauty of it. Can you see the beautiful grain to the steel here? Can you see that folded steel and the patterns? A few years ago, I was in the park here in South Florida with my beloved godfather, a wonderful man who saved my life many years ago in the nation of Paraguay when I was a little boy, sick and persecuted in the jungle. Story for another day. Anyway, he came to visit me here in Florida, and there we were in the park, and he asked me to show him some Tai Chi and some of the moves I do, some of the forms I practice. So I did, and I showed him the straight sword and some other weapons forms, the spear and the wolf tooth mace and the Guanggung Dao and the broadsword and so on. And afterwards we went to lunch, and I could see that something was troubling him. I've known him a long time. Finally I asked him to come out with it, and he looked at me and he said, "I just don't understand why a man like you, who is so concerned with welfare of the world and spiritual things, would practice with a weapon." And I said to him, "Well, originally that sword you saw, this one, this is named Quiet Teacher, by the way, which is the name of one of my books. I named a book after the sword, and a student suggested that wonderful name. I said, this sword does not represent killing, even though at one point these swords were bigger and more rigid, heavier, and were used indeed in battle. But for me, and for Tai Chi players around the world these days, the sword represents a flashing neon sign that helps us to find where we are out of alignment, where we have made mistakes, where we are not relaxed, because holding a 3-foot-long piece of sharp steel has a tendency to distract you. It's also got another purpose for us, not just refining our physical skills, but it also serves to symbolically sever the ties that bind us. Ropes, chains that hold us back from growing, from expanding our minds, from strengthening our bodies, from raising our consciousness. This thing actually can set you free. Thanks for joining me for this latest installment of the Forbidden Rice podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. For more, to go deeper into my world, my books, my speaking, my teaching, and to sign up for my newsletter, visit monkyunro.com.